Well, yes, I didn't see him. What are you looking so sad about, Jeff?
I'm surprised. I'm really insulted. That's not right what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talking about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, say, one time during my career, I was on a Formula One tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right, you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Salute to Miss Cass, because without her, none of this would be possible. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Boxtorian. Today, boxing one-hit wonders. One-hit wonders. Salute to Mike Rem at the building. Salute, Mike. I did the whole show yesterday, and then at about 5:04, I realized I never hit the go live button. I was wondering, like, why am I the only one in here? The thing just kept saying one. Everybody left. I see y'all names and stuff pop up. I was not live. So we do it over today. Boxing one-hit wonders. Okay. And salute Mike Rem. A couple of other things too. We're going to look at the top 12 all-time most intimidating boxers. Top 10 tallest boxers of all time. We're going to look at the best heavyweights under 6 foot. And then we're going to look at the shortest heavyweight champion in boxing history. All of that today on Cass Sports The Box Story, and bringing you all of that boxing history. I think we got the big Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios matchup next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend. That's some boxing out of London. I think it's a big heavyweight fight. I can't remember who they were, F.B.R. Jog, but no. It's a big heavyweight fight over there in Las Vegas this weekend. But yeah, Ryan and Mario Barrios. And that's a pretty good card. Gary Antoine Russell is on it. Andy Hiriaka. Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hiriaka is the co-main. Frank Martin is on it. He's fighting the guy that got into the beef with Keyshawn down there in Norfolk. Albright. Yeah. Frank Martin is fighting him. And Richardson Hitchens on the card. It's 3 championship fights, but that's next weekend. Next week will be fight week for that one. So yeah, Ryan and Barrios. That's the next big fight next weekend. But yeah, we start off another big week of boxing history today. Still early in the week, Tuesday. Yeah. I was on here yesterday, but didn't go live. But okay. Let's get ready to get into our fight of the day today. Get things started. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the fight of the day. Today's fight of the day is Charles Burley versus Archie Moore, April the 21st, 1944, when Burley mastered the master. Burley versus Moore, all the way back to April 21st, 1944, when Burley mastered the master. Okay, let's get into it. If there was any footage to be seen of the Charlie Burley Archie Moore fight, chances are we would be marveling over the skill, the beautiful ability, and the astonishing ring IQ Burley displayed. Chances are, if we could watch the fight today, plenty of young fighters, as well as trainers, would sit and learn a thing or 50 from the fight from Burley's well-documented masterclass. You know, that was a masterclass. All these people nowadays talking about masterclasses. Look at Charles Burley and Archie Moore, 1944. That was a masterclass. For it is written in the pages of boxing how Burley, for most people, the finest fighter to have never had a sniff of a world title opportunity, absolutely dominated Moore over the course of their 10-round non-title middleweight encounter. The fight that took place on the 21st of April in 1944 is the stuff of legend. And there are many things about the fight, along with the lead up to it, that we will never know. Archie Moore, officially 30 years of age. The exact date of Archie's birth also something of a mystery. Some saying he was born in 1913. Others saying he came into the world before that. Others claiming he was born after that date. But Moore was an accomplished, had a record of 60 wins, 8 losses, and 5 draws. But he was not yet the great light heavyweight champion he would become. And Mike Mazik in the building. What's up, Mike? Yesterday, Mike, I was on here. I saw you and Mike Rim and Al Booker's names in there, but I never went live. I didn't hit the live button. I did the whole show till like 5 or 4. And I was like, no wonder I'm the only one left in here, because I'm the only one that can hear me. So we running back today. One hit wonders and a few other things. But the fighters of the day is Charlie Burley and Archie Moore. Salute Mike Grimm and Mike Massey. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, Archie wasn't the great light heavyweight champion he would become yet. Burley was officially 4 years younger than Moore, and he had a record of 61 wins, 9 losses, and 2 draws as a pro. The two men met in Hollywood, California, and the fight turned out to be no contest from start to painful finish. At least it was painful for Archie Moore. We know from the many written reports that Burley dominated Moore. We know that Burley decked Moore no less than 4 times in the first, third, fourth, and 8th rounds. The last time was for jab. We know that Moore, one of the greatest punchers of all time, was unable to land a single telling blow on Burley. We know that Burley won 9 of the 10 rounds, and we know that Moore said many years later, when retired, how Burley was not only the greatest fighter he ever fought, but that he was the greatest fighter he ever saw. Archie Moore said Burley was not only the greatest fighter he fought, but the greatest fighter he had ever saw. Moore reportedly went to the victorious Burley's dressing room after the fight, telling him, among other things, how I couldn't even tie you up. Never had Moore, one of the most cerebral and cutting fighters in boxing history, met anyone as slick and as special as Burley. Burley had been masterful in fading Moore completely out of position. Something we also know is this: Burley was too good for his own good. Imagine the reports of what Burley had done to Moore getting out and reaching the best in the world at middleweight back then. No wonder Burley never got a shot at a world title. Now to the stuff we are not so sure about. Now to the stuff we are not so sure about. According to the legend, Burley, who was working in an aircraft factory mere hours before the fight, got the call at unimaginably short notice. This when Moore's original foe fell out. Burley is said to have literally put the phone down, packed his boxing gear, jumped on a Greyhound bus, and arrived at the arena just in time to either get his hands wrapped or to wrap them himself. Another version says Burley, in fact, had 2 weeks of time in which to get ready for the fight, when he knew he would be fighting. Either way, though, whichever version we believe, the fact that Burley beat the snot out of Moore can never be diminished at any time. But what of the story that says Burley, who disliked Moore, hurried Archie so he could get full satisfaction by way of giving his rival a sustained beating? Some reports say Burley even had Moore on the verge of a knockout numerous times, only to pull back and quite literally hold him up. This might be quite tough for some fans to believe, but who knows? Who knows? Burley, who was never once knocked out during his 98 fight pro career, fought the best fight of his career that night in 1944 against Archie Moore. But unlike Moore, who, to his enormous credit, learned from the boxing lesson Burley gave him, going on to rule the world for a long, long time as a light heavyweight. While Burley never earned big money or got anywhere close to a shot. Burley never earned big money or got anywhere close to a shot at a title. In the annals of boxing history, It's tough to come up with a more talented fighter who was treated so shoddily by the sport he helped make so special. Charles Burley. Archie Moore, Fighters of the Day. Charles Burley is your winner. And we're going to go a little bit deeper on Charles Burley and all the Murderers Row fighters tomorrow. We're going to have a special on Black boxing history tomorrow. And we're going to look at the Murderers Row fighters, Archie Moore. It was 8 Murderers Row fighters, but I don't know why Archie Moore wasn't the 9th, because he was avoiding everything just like the Murderers Row fighters were. So he's really the 9th Murderers Row fighter, because Archie Moore had to wait 16 years to get a title shot. He started pro at 23. He was 39, almost 40 before he got his first title shot. But y'all know the story when he got it. He kept it for 10 years. Archie was like, no, I'm not losing this because I might not never get another shot at it. So that was a fighter of the day. Now we're going to talk about some one-hit wonders first. We got a few other things too. But we're going to start out with the one-hit wonders. That's one of the biggest one-hit wonders of all time right there. Only one possibly bigger one-hit wonder is Buster Douglas. Then not Michael Spinks, Leon Spinks. Leon. Yeah. Muhammad Ali is 7 fights into his career. He got another couple of other title shots after that, but never won again. He got another one at heavyweight, another one at cruiserweight, but he never won another title. But let's get into it. The one-hit wonders of the world. One of the biggest right there, Leon. The biggest one-hit wonders in boxing history. Now, while this collection of boxers did not achieve sustained success, they did make the most of their opportunity before ultimately fading from the spotlight. All right, Jess Willard. Decades before the 12-round title fight, and shortly before the 15-round championship left was the law of the land, Willard toppled storied heavyweight champion Jack Johnson in the 26th round of their 1915 title fight. Willard caught the longtime champion in his later years and was losing most of the rounds, but the then 33-year-old Kansas native stopped the 37-year-old champion in the Havana, Cuba attrition war. Willard defended his title once in 1916, but lost the strap to Jack Dempsey by a 3rd-round stoppage in 1919. Okay, one-hit wonders. Fireman Jim Flynn. This is the fireman. Fireman Jim Flynn. Nice nickname. Okay, but he was a one-hit wonder. More trivia question than one-hit wonder. Flynn is the only man to knock out Jack Dempsey. This came in 1917, 2 years before the Manasseh Mauler began his heavyweight title reign. But it's notable because of Flynn's journeyman career. At age 37, Flynn met a 21-year-old Dempsey in a town near Salt Lake City, and Flynn had a record of 69 wins, 34 losses, 23 draws at that point. The 5'10" Flynn, nevertheless, floored the future all-time great multiple times in round 1, forcing a stoppage from Dempsey's corner. Dempsey knocked Flynn out in round 1 in the rematch when they met in 1918 in Illinois. Flynn, who fought Jack Johnson and Sam Langford a combined 8 times, ended his career with 45 losses. Wow. 45 losses. Fireman. Okay, Harold Dade is the next one-hit wonder. Harold Dade. Harold Dade is somewhere on there. Okay. A Chicago native, Dade made a big name for himself in 1947 by defeating all-time great Manuel Ortiz to win the Bantamweight Championship. This was a strong era for the lower weight classes, and Dade entered the fight at 16 wins, just 1 loss, 2 draws. The swift-footed Midwesterner won a wide decision over the future Hall of Famer in their January 1947 fight in San Francisco but the California native avenged the defeat 2 months later in a rematch that also went 15 rounds. And Dade finished his career 38 wins, 32 losses, and 6 draws. There's a big one here. Big one-hit wonder. Well, he be a big name on the way to his one-hit wonderness. Randy Turpin. Probably the greatest hit on this list. Turpin beat Sugar Ray Robinson, the sport's pound-for-pound king, at the height of his powers in 1951. Yeah, prime Sugar Ray. The Brit bested the American legend in July 1951 by decision in England before losing the middleweight title back to Robinson 2 months later in the United States. The once untouchable welterweight fought 7 times in Europe that summer, but ended the tour on a sour note. Turpin was a longtime contender who in the multi-belt era would have enjoyed more championship opportunities. But his name will live on as long as boxing exists because of this fight right here, upset of Sugar Ray Robinson. Randolph Turpin. Big one-hit wonder. Ray Portilla. Looking at some one-hit wonders to start the show off today. Ray Portilla. Is Ray. I think that's Joe Brown. Yeah, that he beat. Who is one-hit wonder? Joe Brown became a Hall of Famer after his career included a then record 11 defenses of the lightweight title. A non-title fight in 1960 ranks as a rather random slip-up for Brown. Portilla stopped the champion by a 6-round TKO, with Brown suffering broken ribs in the San Antonio fight. Portilla had lost his previous 3 fights and came in with a record of 22 wins, 29 losses, and 1 draw when he met Brown. The two Americans never faced off again. Portilla ended his career with a sub-500 record a year later. Old Bones Joe Brown went on to 121 wins. He was Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year in 1961 and continued his 6-year title reign until 1962. But yeah, Old Bones lost to Randy Portilla that night. Ray Portilla. Next one-hit wonder is Billy Backus. Hailing from the New York town where the International Boxing Hall of Fame with Lady B built, Canastota, Backus also has notable bloodlines in being Carmen Basilio's nephew. In 1970, Backus beat one of his era's best fighters, earning a title shot that oddly occurred in Syracuse, near Backus' hometown. The underdog stopped welterweight champion Jose Napoles on cuts in a bloody brawl to win the WBA and WBC 147-pound belts. The American entered that fight with a record of 29 wins, 10 losses, 4 draws, but held the straps for 6 months. The Cuban future Hall of Famer knocked out Backus in the rematch in June 1971. Backus fought until 1978, but never challenged for a title again. Okay, and here's one of the bigger one-hit wonders. Leon Spinks. The elder Spinks brother joined Michael in claiming gold at the 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal. Leon became a big name quicker than Michael as a pro, given a title shot against Muhammad Ali in his 8th pro fight. Spinks wrested the belt away from the then 36-year-old boxing deity in their February 1978 matchup. Spinks remains the least experienced heavyweight champion in history to win a title. 7 fights in. Instead of facing mandatory challenger Kid Norton, Spinks gave Ali an immediate rematch. In better shape for the September 1978 rematch, Ali prevailed by decision. Now, Neon Leon earned 2 more title shots, one at heavyweight, one at cruiserweight, but lost both by knockout, ending his career with a record of 26 wins, 17 losses, and 3 draws for Neon Leon. One-hit wonder. Kirkland Lane. Kirkland Lane. And Kirkland beat the Hands of Stone. Well, it's one-hit wonder. Hands of Stone. There it is. At the Hands of Stone, hair flying all up in the air. Let's talk about it. After Sugar Ray Leonard took back his welterweight titles from Roberto Duran, the Panamanian icon moved up to the junior middleweight division. While campaigning at 154, he endured a shocking upset loss to Lang in 1982. The then 28-year-old Jamaican outboxed Duran in the second half of their 10-round non-title fight and earned a split decision win, One Ring Magazine dubbed as the upset of the year. While Duran recovered and a year later went 15 rounds with fellow all-timer Marvelous Marvin Hagler at middleweight, Lang never fought for a major title in a career that lasted until 1994. Lang never fought for a major title. The fight with Duran was a non-title fight, and he never, even after that big upset, never got a title shot. But that was a huge one there. He beat the Hands of Stone. Wow. Alfredo Lang. Alfredo Lang. Wilfredo Gomez became a 3-division champion in 1985, winning a junior lightweight belt. Just over a year later, the 29-year-old Puerto Rican faced mandatory challenger Lang in his homeland. A Panamanian fighter, Lang enjoyed the best night of his career. Trailing on all 3 scorecards, Lang dropped Gomez in the 8th round and earned the stoppage win after flooring the champion. After vicious combinations in the 9th round, Lang did not follow this up well, losing the 130-pound title to Brian Mitchell 4 months later and dropping his next 5 fights, one of which to Pernell Whitaker, before retiring with a record of 15 wins and 12 losses. There's another big one, Barbie Joe Young. Barbie Joe Young beat the Hawk. Only loss of the Hawk's career, Aaron Pryor. Barbie Joe Young. Never a top contender, Young enjoyed the distinction of being the only man to beat Aaron Pryor as a pro. An oft-avoided junior welterweight with devastating power, Pryor dealt with drug problems for much of his career. After his 2 defeats of Alexis Arguello, Pryor trudged on through 1985. He came back to the ring in 87, beating Young in his return fight. Young knocked Pryor down twice in the matchup of Ohio natives, the second time leaving the ex-140-pound kingpin dazed to force a stoppage. In the car leasing business at the time of the fight, the then 28-year-old Young fought only twice more before ending his career. 31 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. That was a big one there. Only loss of the Hawks' career. Bobby Young can always say that. Tell his grandkids, I was the only one to beat the Hawk. Thomas Molinares, one-hit wonders. Thomas Molinares. Okay. Molinares made his name on one of the more controversial endings in modern boxing history. The Colombian exited a 1988 welterweight title fight with Marlon Starling's belt. Molinares knocked out Starling with a right hand thrown just after the bell, but referee Joe Cortez counted the champion out anyway. The fight ended up being ruled a no contest. It did change boxing henceforth with the 10-second warning spawning because of the sequence. Yeah, that was the clacker started clack, clack, clack at the 10 seconds because of this fight right here. Molinares fought twice more. Starling won another welterweight belt by beating Lord Honeygate in 1989, but Molinari's finished his career 23 wins, 2 losses. An historic fight started the 10-second clapper to notify the fighters 10 seconds before the round ends. Yeah. Clearly after the bell, the referee counted starting out anyway. Rene Jacquot, one-hit wonders. Rene Jacquot. Here's Rene celebrating his one-hit wonderness. One of the many welterweight champions in the lower profile years between the Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran era, and Pernell Whitaker's run. Ousted champion Donald Curry moved up to junior middleweight to earn a belt there. His first defense came against Jacquot. The fight occurred in Jacquot's native France and ended in a narrow unanimous decision win for the challenger, doubling as Ring Magazine's 1989 Upset of the Year. Curry went on the Hall of Fame induction. Jacquot lost the 154-pound belt in his first defense, a first-round knockout against John the Beast Mugabe. Here's the biggest one-hit wonder in not just boxing, sports history. Y'all already know who it is. Buster Douglas. You can't do a one-hit wonder list without Buster Douglas. That would be considered a crime. Buster Douglas, the one-hit wonder of one-hit wonders. Author of the most shocking upset in sports history. Douglas laid a blueprint for Andy Ruiz's title run nearly 30 years later. The inconsistent heavyweight put it all together on February 11th, 1990 by knocking out Mike Tyson after a full set of 10th round punches. Tyson was a less polished version of the combination machine he once was, but still was a 42-1 favorite to beat Douglas in Tokyo that night. Douglas weighed 246 pounds for his October defense against Evander Holyfield, up 15 pounds from his Japan weight against Tyson. And Holyfield stopped him in 3 rounds. Buster faded out of the title picture quickly, but his upset over Tyson will live on forever. Yeah, the one-hit wonder of all time, Buster Douglas. Michael Bent. One-hit wonders today. In the years immediately following Rocky V, Tommy Morrison became a top heavyweight contender. The up-and-comer was being groomed for a title shot, but the less experienced Bent intervened. He didn't get the memo. After defeating George Foreman for the then lesser-regarded WBO belt, Morrison ran into Bent in what was supposed to be an October 1993 tune-up. But like I said, Bent didn't get the memo. Supposed to be a tune-up for Morrison. In just his 11th fight, the Brit knocked Morrison out in the first round. Morrison recovered but was never the same. Bent lost his belt to Herbie Hyde and abruptly retired due to health issues. He later followed Morrison's on-screen lead by playing Sonny Liston in the movie Ali. Steve Little, one-hit wonder. Steve Little. This Steve on the right. Steve Little. Little challenged former middleweight champion Michael Nunn for Nunn's super middleweight title in 1994 and did so as a 40-1 underdog. The Philadelphia native, despite possessing punching power, ex-sparring partner Bernard Hopkins said couldn't crack an egg, knocked Nunn down in round 1 and upset him by unanimous decision in England. When Little won the title, his record stood at 22 wins, 13 losses, 2 draws. He could not replicate his career-defining performance in the first defense of the 168-pound strap, losing to future years-long champion Frankie Lyles. Little died of colon cancer in 2000 in Reading, Pennsylvania. Oliver McCall. We're talking about some one-hit wonders. Oliver McCall, when he beat Lennox. And then the next fight, nobody knows what happened. The boxing world first discovered Lennox Lewis' vulnerability in 1994 when McCall, an opponent during a stay busy fight while Lewis sought a matchup with Riddick Bowe or Evander Holyfield, McCall knocked him out early in the second round. The new WBC champion defeated the 45-year-old Larry Holmes in his first defense before dropping the belt to Frank Bruno. Lewis McCall, too, brought one of the strangest episodes in boxing history. Challenging Lewis for the vacant WBC belt in 1997, McCall lost after he stopped fighting and broke down in tears mid-fight. McCall enjoyed highs and lows henceforth, and he last fought in 2024 at age 54. May 2024 at age 54. Yep. He might be still fighting. Ross Perity. There's Ross and Vladimir. Oh, glass-jawed Vladimir Klitschko. We come to the Vladimir Klitschko section of the list. The first fighter to successfully test the younger Klitschko's chin, Perity carried a record of 24 wins, 13 losses, 1 draws into their 1998 fight in Klitschko's native Ukraine. The then 22-year-old Klitschko lost by TKO when his corner stopped the fight, and the 1996 Olympic gold medalist's rise was delayed a bit. The then 32-year-old American had lost 3 of his previous 4 fights. Perity finished his career with 20 losses, another of those coming to elder Klitschko brother Vitaly in 2001. Vitaly had to come in and revenge his younger brother's loss. Another one-hit wonder. One of several times Vitaly did that. Hasim Rahman is next. Hasim Rahman. One-hit wonders. By 2001, Lennox Lewis had become, by far, the top heavyweight in the game, beating Evander Holyfield in 1999 to earn that distinction. But heavy underdog Hasim Rahman dropped the champion with a right hand in the 5th round of their April 2001 fight in South Africa. A Baltimore, Maryland native who lost twice as a heavyweight contender, Rahman collected 2 major belts that night. Lewis, however, quickly atoned for his slip-up, which came after he filmed scenes for Ocean's 11 by flattening Rahman in round 4 of their November rematch. Rahman remained a contender for years, but did not come close to the heights he hit in 2001. He never achieved championship status again, Rahman. Corey Sanders. Yeah, that's Vladimir again, I believe. Vladimir on the mat again. So this is Vladimir section. Beginning a mid-career descent with this era's premier heavyweight, Sanders exposed Vladimir Klitschko's suspect chin for his era's premier heavyweight. Sanders exposed Vladimir Klitschko's suspect chin in his March 2003 wipeout of the future Hall of Fame. The smaller South African southpaw at age 37 connected many times with straight left hands, and the referee stopped the fight in round 2 after the 4th knockdown. Sanders' next fight, however, came against, you got it, the elder Klitschko, Vitaly. Less susceptible to flash knockdowns, Vitaly dominated the 2004 fight. Sanders fought 4 more times before retiring. Vitaly comes to the rescue again and avenges his younger brother's loss. Lamont Brewster is next, one-hit wonder. Lamont Brewster. Vladimir Klitschko's career hit a crisis point after a 2004 meeting with Brewster. The then 30-year-old American became the third mid-tier heavyweight to knock the superstar prospect out, stopping the then 28-year-old Ukrainian in the fifth round of their April 04 encounter. Despite being outled at 199-70, Brewster followed Sanders' lead and capitalized on Klitschko's defensive weaknesses to win a vacant WBO belt. He defended it 3 times, once knocking out a faded Andrew Galata before losing to modestly regarded Siarhel Lakovic. Brewster's 2007 rematch with an Emmanuel Stewart-trained Klitschko ended in a 7th round knockout loss. So Vitaly didn't have to come in that time. Vladimir avenged his own loss. Carlos Baldomir. Carlos Baldomir. There's Carlos. Who does Zab? He got his one-hit wonder against Zab, I think. Baldomir entered his 2006 title fight with Zab Judah as a 9-loss fighter, but outworked the unified welterweight champion in a unanimous decision win. The Argentinian outled Judah 161-91, but was given a narrow decision. Baldomir captured Judah's Ring Magazine belt and the lineal 147-pound title, but sanctioning fee issues allowed the loser to keep 2 alphabet belts. Baldomir beat a shot-worn Arturo Gatti later in 06, but soon saw it stop crater. Matched up against Apex Floyd Mayweather Jr., Baldomir did not win a round on 2 scorecards. He was one of Canelo Alvarez's first high-profile wins in 2010. Breeders' Prescott is the next one-hit wonder. Breeders' Prescott. We are coming to the end of the one-hit wonders. Couple more. Breeders' Prescott. Ticketed for superstardom, Amir Khan saw his trajectory change in 2008. An Olympic gold medalist at just age 17 in 2004, Khan was voted ESPN's Prospect of the Year in 2007, was 18-0, and held a minor lightweight title when he met Prescott in September 2008. The Colombian challenger shocked the boxing world by stopping the British talent in round 1. The hand-speed demon suspect Chin revealed itself that night in Manchester. Khan then was knocked out by Danny Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, and Terence Crawford. Prescott was unbeaten then. Since then, he lost 18 times, including defeats against Crawford and Mike Alvarado. Sonny Boy Jaro. One-hit wonder. Sonny Boy Jaro. Wait a minute, I hit the wrong picture. Sorry about that. That's Sonny Boy Jaro there. Yeah. Sonny Boy Jaro. Got somebody laying on the mat over there. One-hit wonder. Jaro entered a 2012 clash with elite flyweight champion Poncelet Wanjonkam as a 10-loss challenger. Wanjonkam was 83 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. Fighters in the low weight divisions tend to age faster than their heavier contemporaries. Wanjonkam first won the WBC flyweight title in 2001, and after losing it in 2007, recaptured it a year later and reigned until a younger Jaro upset him. A then 30-year-old Filipino, Jaro knocked the 35-year-old Thai champion down 4 times and won by 6th round knockout. Jaro proceeded to lose his next 3 fights. Chris Algieri. One-hit wonders. The Floyd Mayweather Jr. Manny Pacquiao super fights 5-year delay was an indictment of boxing. While the former deserves more blame, Pacquiao's final pre-Mayweather opponent was the most random stopgap during the welterweight kingpin standoff. given a June 2014 title shot against WBO junior welterweight champion Ruslan Provodnikov. Algeria outlanded the rugged Russian by a significant margin, but looked the worse for wear after being knocked down twice. After his decision win, Algieri faced Pacquiao in a McCall China matchup. Pac-Man knocked the lanky 140-pound champ down 6 times, but being in that fight made Algieri a big name. Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn. Okay, final one. Now, everybody say Horn received a gift decision over Pacquiao in 2017. Although outlanded 182-92 and nearly stopped in the 9th round, Horn captured Pacquiao's WBO welterweight belt on an Australian afternoon. The underdog sides posted a problem for the then 38-year-old Filipino, but the majority of the public did not give Horn many rounds. But the judges did, scoring a unanimous decision win in one of this era's biggest upsets. Horn lost his title to Terence Crawford in his very next fight. Okay, there you have it, the one-hit wonders. Okay, now we're going to talk about some of the most intimidating boxers, some of the most intimidating fighters in boxing history. And there's the most intimidating right there, the Big Bear, Charles Sonny Liston, the Big Bear. Okay, let's get into these intimidating fighters now. Top 12 all-time most intimidating boxers in boxing history. Okay. So we've got a few things for you today. On Cat Sports The Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Okay, excuse me for 1 second, please. How's everyone? It's Tuesday afternoon. Beautiful day outside. We came out of that cold spell. Like a heat wave out there now, about 20-something. Down in the single digits last week, below 0 with the wind chill. Okay, but 12 most intimidating boxers in boxing history. Intimidation comes in many different forms. Aggressive body language, rippling muscles, obnoxious trash talk, a preceding reputation, or the cold stare that sends tremors down the backbone. Whichever way it's manifested, the objective remains the same: to force a crack in an opponent's psyche through which fear can enter. These are the masters of menace, who consistently so demoralize foes that their opponents either lost all confidence before the opening bell or avoided facing them altogether. Either lost all confidence before the opening bell or avoided facing these fighters altogether. And some fighters admittedly avoided the man on the screen, just said, I'm not doing it. I don't care how much money you offer me. I'm not fighting the Big Bear. Okay, but first is Elmer Ray. Some of the most intimidating fighters of all time. That's Elmer on the left there. Elmer Ray. The deadly heavyweight puncher, nicknamed Kid Violent, was too dangerous for his own good, as he was avoided by a slew of top ringmen due to his extraordinary punching power. Add the fact that he was also known for being a battle-scarred veteran of the brutal contests they called battle royals, plus his penchant for alligator wrestling, plus his scoring some 70 knockouts against human foes, and you had one of the most fearsome battlers in heavyweight history, Elmer Ray. Next, King Carlos Monzon. intimidating fighters, King Carlos Monzon. A true macho man, this Argentinian power puncher had the attitude of both a genuine street tough and a champion of unshakable confidence, not to mention a cannon of a right hand. As Mike Tyson himself put it, I always loved Carlos Monzon. He was a tough guy for real, a guy from the streets. He didn't talk much, but he didn't need to. The ring belonged to him. King Carlos Monzon, some of the most intimidating fighters of all time now. Stanley Ketchel, the Michigan Assassin. The Michigan Assassin. Not for nothing did they call him the Michigan Assassin. The ruthless Ketchel, one of the all-time most deadly punches, brought to the ring a cold-eyed glare, a contemptuous sneer, and one of the hardest right hands in boxing history. And when faced with the total package, his opponents often felt more than a bit weak in the knees. The Michigan Assassin, Stanley Ketchel. One of the most intimidating fighters of all time, next, the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. The fighter they called Hands of Stone gave off such an unmistakable aura of ferocity and violence that it unnerved even the most talented of boxers. Sporting a sneer of contempt and angry black eyes that seemed capable of boring holes into people's heads, he appeared a savage maniac bent on destruction. Heavyweight legend Joe Frazier was once asked if Duran reminded him of anyone. Yes, said Smoking Joe, Charles Manson. Smoking Joe got something to that too. Roberto Duran, Charles Manson. Roberto Duran, Charles Manson. Smoking Joe had something too that put a little bit more hair on Roberto. They could be twin brothers. Look at that. One more time. Roberto Duran, Charles Manson. The Smoking Joe said that's who Roberto reminded him of. I see what he was talking about. Well, let's continue. Yeah, put a little bit more hair on Roberto. Be just like him. BBO Sports TV. What's up, BBO? We just moved from one-hit wonders to some of the most intimidating fighters in boxing history. The Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Next is Terrible Terry McGovern. There he is, Terrible Terry McGovern. Salute BBO Sports TV. Tonight at 8, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. And then you can catch him on fight nights on the weekends when we got a big fight going on. BBO Sports TV from the Sports Talk Network. Terrible Terry McGovern. Intimidating fighter. A two-time world champion, Terrible Terry boasted both devastating punching power and a ferocious whirlwind attack, the combination of which left one adversary after another in both the bantamweight and featherweight divisions, groveling in the resin dust. Such was McGovern's reputation that many of his 80 professional opponents were clearly beaten before the opening bell had even rung. Terrible Terry McGovern. Okay? Some of the most intimidating boxers in boxing history. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. With his shaved head, perpetual snarl, granite chin, and deadly fist, Marvelous Marvin Hagler struck fear in the hearts of men, making it that much easier for him to run them out of the ring. That is, when he got the chance to fight them. For years, top contenders and champions in the middleweight division did everything they could to avoid facing Marvelous Marvin. Yes, he did. And should have been a champion a long time ago. Had to wait all the way until 1980, I believe it was. 79 or 80. Jack Dempsey. Looking at some intimidating fighters. The Manasseh Marlin. The man was a teenager, would walk into a bar and say, fight anybody in there for money to eat. And he said he couldn't lose because if he lost, he didn't eat. Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler. The reputation of the erstwhile Kid Blackie for ring ferocity preceded him and proceeded to leave many of his opponents with a sudden urge to pack up and go home. Bolstered by his scowling visage, this intimidating reputation no doubt contributed to the Manasseh Mauler racking up an astonishing 60 first-round knockouts, including exhibition matches, over the course of his pro career. 60 first-round knockouts. Even with exhibitions, that's a lot. First round. Another intimidating fighter, Big George Foreman. Big George Foreman. Big and bad. Foreman learned from Sonny Liston that all you had to do was not talk too much, not change your facial expression, stare your opponent down, and you'd gain the psychological upper hand. Of course, it also helps if you happen to be 6'3", one of the hardest punchers in boxing history, and have a long line of supine and comatose heavyweights stretching behind you. Yeah, that helps. Doing intimidation, that's got to have this man on there. Ain't no way. The Brown Bomber. The Brown Bomber didn't have to work too hard at intimidating people. His record and reputation accomplished that all by themselves. One of the most fearsome punchers in boxing history, Joe Louis left a path of destruction that unnerved all the heavyweights of his day. At his cold, distant stare and unflappable demeanor, and many of Joe's opponents were searching for the exits before the first round got underway. Or as renowned trainer Ray Arcel, who backed numerous Louis opponents, put it, if you're training to fight Joe Louis and you can't sleep, and that's on your mind, it takes everything away from you. I remember I walked Johnny Paycheck into the ring against Joe, and his knees were actually trembling. Ray Arcel said he walked one of his fighters, Johnny Paycheck, to the ring against Joe Louis, and his knees was trembling. Knees hitting together and stuff. Wow, he should have just turned him around and went on back and just forfeited it. Okay? Wow. Sam Langford, the Boston Bone Crusher. Talk about intimidation. The Boston Bone Crusher. Pound for pound, the Boston Bone Crusher may well be the hardest puncher to ever step through the ropes. And it was certainly no secret that his devastating power, toughness, and skill made him virtually unbeatable for fighters close to his natural fighting weight. So intimidating was this former lightweight that he had to climb all the way up to the heavyweight class to find men with the guts to face him. And even then, seasoned warriors such as Joe Jeanette, Kid Norfolk, Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, Perry Wills, and Ed Gunboat Smith marveled at his ring ability and raw power. When he was the world champion, Jack Johnson shamelessly ducked Sam, as did Jack Dempsey, who would later confess, "I was afraid of Sam Langford." Iron Mike Tyson, talking about intimidation. Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike's talent for terrifying his opponents is legendary. With his muscular physique, malevolent glare, and a ring costume with nothing but black trunks and shoes, he looked the part of a homicidal henchman from some dark lair of the underworld. In short, for most of his career, Iron Mike was incredibly intimidating. Proof? Tyson's 94-second demolition of a terrified Michael Spink. Frank Bruno walked into the ring as if it were the gallows. Trevor Berbick standing there when the referee was giving the instructions, trembling. Or consider that more than half of Tyson's 44 career knockouts took place in the opening round. Few fighters in boxing history depended so much on sheer intimidation for ring success. And even after defeats to James Buster Douglas and Evander Holyfield, Tyson's reputation and skill at unnerving his adversaries helped him to rack up victories. But the Buster win put a big dent in that intimidation. and Buster knocked him out. I'll fight him. But number one, most intimidating fighter of all time, y'all already know. I only had to put it up there. The Big Bear. Look at him. He's scaring himself. Looked in the mirror. Scaring himself. The Big Bear. Sonny Liston. Most intimidating fighter of all time. Fighters openly admitted, I'm not fighting him. Kermit Cooper said he didn't even want to see him walking down the street, let alone get in the boxing ring with him. An ex-con and a rumored leg breaker for the mob, not to mention an associate of hardcore gangsters Frankie Carbo and Blakey Palermo. The Big Bear had ring intimidation down to a science. In addition to his reputation and underworld connections, Liston sported a massive physique, huge deadly fists, and perhaps the best poker face in boxing history. After laying waste to the heavyweight division and twice knocking out Floyd Patterson in the first round, he appeared unbeatable. But then along came Cassius Clay, and the rest is history. Okay, those were some some of the most intimidating fighters. So we got various things for you today. Now we're going to look at some of the tallest boxers of all times, ranked by height. Some of the tallest boxers of all time. Coming up now. Got some 7-footers in here. Got one guy who's 7'4". Guess what his record was as a pro? 1-0. But he was a pro for one fight, so he makes the list. He was 1-0. Yeah. Undefeated. 100% knockout rate. 1 win, 1 knockout. No losses. Okay, so here we go. The 10 tallest fighters of all time. Excuse me for 2 minutes, though. I gotta check something real quick. And then we're gonna get into these tallest fighters of all time in one moment. Got the big Ryan and Barrios next weekend. Next week is fight. That's a great card, too. Gary Antoine Russell. It's 3 title fights. Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hiriaka is the co-main for Gary's title, and then Richardson Hitchens defended his title on that card, and Frank Martin and I keep forgetting the guy that got into the beef with Keyshawn and them down in North Albright. Nahir, that's his name, Nahir Albright, yeah. Him and Frank Martin. That could be a good match. That is a great card. That's next weekend. Next week will be fight week for that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Some of the tallest fighters of all time. Right now. Sorry for the delay. Okay, let's get into it. 10 tallest fighters of all time. Ranked by height. Is one of the current day tall ones. Okay. 10 tallest boxers of all time. Here we go. Let's go. Taller boxers ideally have a natural advantage in most fights if they opt to use their gifts. Having a reach advantage as well allows taller fighters to maintain distance if they want to. Taller fighters can control the action while also having an easier time landing their punches. However, they are often at the mercy of faster and quicker opponents. This particular disadvantage becomes even worse if the taller fighter isn't as skilled. Boxing history shows that giants have a relatively mixed record of success, with some boxers using their gifts effectively to achieve greatness, while others fall short of glory. Let's look at it. Okay, the first one is Vitaly Klitschko. Oh my goodness, that's not right. Okay, yeah. There's Vitaly Klitschko. There's Shannon Briggs he fighting. Okay. We got Arnie Boxing in the building. Salute Arnie Boxing. You looked at a number of things today, Arnie. One-hit wonders, some of the most intimidating boxers, and now some of the tallest boxers of all time. Subscribe to Arnie Boxing. It's on Night 9 is 10. It's a great channel. Boxing history, current events, called boxing, wrestling, UFC, all that. Salute Arnie Boxing. Okay. Vitaly Klitschko reigned at the top for nearly a decade. Klitschko's straight right hand was a major weapon for him, too. Now, he was 6'7", 45 wins, 2 losses with 41 knockouts. Okay. And his 2 losses were both, he was ahead in both fights. And fight got stopped because of the injury. 91.1% knockout ratio, too. And one was a shoulder injury, I think, and the other one was on cut. Shoulder injury to Chris Bird, the other one was on cuts. He was a lineal heavyweight champion. Yeah. So he could have very well been undefeated. Considered Europe's top heavyweight prospect, Vitaly realized his potential to win the WBO heavyweight title. After losing the title to Chris Bird because of a torn rotator cuff, Klitschko was written off. However, he rebounded from that setback to become arguably the top fighter in the division for nearly a decade. Initially opting for a technical style, working behind the jab, Klitschko's career went to the next level when he started throwing his right hand more often. Okay, Jess Willett. I ain't gonna bore y'all, just little short, brief little talks. Jess Willett. Jess Willett shocked the world. Willett ended Jack Johnson's dominant run. Now, Jess Willett was 6'7", 25 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 20 knockouts. And he did become heavyweight champion of the world. Jess Willett. Knockout ratio of 80%. I ain't worrying about no more knockout ratios. But yeah, Jess Willett did become heavyweight champion, 6'7". Talking about 10 of the tallest boxers of all time. Jess Willett didn't start boxing until he was in his mid-20s and admitted that he didn't like the sport and only started training because he thought he could earn a good living because of his height and weight. Willett nearly went to prison for murder after Bull Young died in the ring after taking a punch from Willett. Despite his heavy hands, Willett wasn't considered a great or skilled boxer, which made him a massive underdog when he faced Jack Johnson for the heavyweight championship in 1915. Willett would win by knockout in the 26th round, ending Johnson's 7-year reign as heavyweight champion. Jess Willett. Next, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. Okay, Tyson Fury used his size to become king. Fury remains one of the division's best. Height 6'9". Current record is 34 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 24 knockouts. Both from the Alexander Usyk. And he was a lineal heavyweight champion during his career, though. Brash, controversial, and often great, Tyson Fury used his height and weight to become the best heavyweight of his era before Usyk came along. An excellent boxer, Fury used his jab effectively and enjoyed winning rounds on the outside. But he can also use his size to wear opponents down and get aggressive to end fights. Fury said it was important to him to show boxing fans that large heavyweights can be skillful and not just slow sluggers. Tyson Fury. Tayshaun Dong, some of the tallest heavyweights of all time. Tayshaun Dong. What's up, Donnie? Williams in the building. Salute. Donnie Williams. Good to see you today, Donnie. We're talking about some of the tallest boxers of all time now. Okay, let's continue. Tayshawn Dong, 7-footer. Tayshawn Dong had potential. Oscar De La Hoya believed Dong could have been a future champion. Okay, and he was 7 foot even. His record was 6-0 with 3 knockouts. Accomplishments, none. He just went 6-0, 3 knockouts. Undefeated though. Tayshawn Dong initially played basketball. I knew his name sounded familiar. Tayshawn Dong initially played basketball and was a kickboxer before pursuing a professional boxing career. Dong knocked out a couple of low-level opponents after turning pro and ultimately caught the attention of Golden Boy, who signed him to a promotional deal. Dong had the opportunity to improve his skills under star trainer Buddy McGirt. Surprisingly, Dong opted to put his boxing career on hiatus to pursue a professional wrestling career at the WWE Performance Center. Okay? So he went to wrestling. Okay, Nikolai Valuev. I bet y'all know which one Nikolai is. That's Nikolai on the right. No, I'm just kidding. That's Nikolai on the left. Nikolai Valuev made history. Valuev is boxing's tallest and heaviest champion. He actually won the championship. He ain't the tallest, but he's the tallest one to win the championship. He was 7 foot even also. 50 wins, 2 losses, 34 knockouts. He had a real career. 2-time WBA heavyweight champion. I think he beat Evander Holyfield, but they said it was a robbery. After solid victories over top contenders, Larry Donald and Clifford Etienne, Nikolai Valuev took the next step in his career, defeating John Ruiz by majority decision to become WBA heavyweight champion. Valuev would make 3 defenses before suffering an upset loss to Ruslan Chagayev. Valuev considered retiring, but decided to fight on and eventually beat Ruiz a second time to regain the WBA title. Valuev was a solid boxer, capable of putting together combinations while also possessing a strong chin. Nikolai Valuev, 2-time WBA champion, tallest ever champion. Not the tallest ever boxer, but tallest to win a championship. Julius Long. With Julius Long. Yeah, I thought that's what I heard, Artie. I never saw this fight, but yeah, they said it was a robbery when Valuev beat Holyfield. Arnie says Evander was absolutely robbed against Valuev. Yeah, that's what I had heard. Okay. Julius Long embraced the journey. Long is proud of his career. Let's see what he's so proud of. Now, Long was 7'1". This is what he's proud of. 18 wins, 25 losses, 1 draw, 14 knockouts. Wow. Just think if he would have won 18 and lost 17, won 18 and lost 25, he's proud of it though. Accomplishments, none. Julius Long was willing to be a journeyman and club fighter in the back half of his career. Long faced notable opponents such as Samuel Peter and Artley Harrison. Long tried to put on a show during his fights, but was on the receiving end of several huge knockouts. Okay? Julius Long. Proud of that 18-win, 25-loss record. Ewart Potgieter was an attraction. Potgieter earned a few nice paydays. There he is. Now he was 7'2". Oh, he's the same height as Jabbar. 7'2". He had 11 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 100% knockout rate, 11 knockouts. 11 wins, 11 knockouts. Accomplishments. We didn't win any titles or anything. South African Ewart Potgieter had a 94-inch reach and weighed well over 300 pounds. Potgieter was a former farmer who was encouraged to pursue boxing. After winning his first few fights by knockout within the first 2 rounds, he was discovered by a promoter who brought him to London. He was able to earn money fighting on lucrative cards in London. However, he started having more trouble as he moved up to face better competition and eventually retired and went back to South Africa after losing to top contender John Holman, where he had a 100% knockout ratio, 11 wins, 2 losses, 11 knockouts. Jim Cully, some of the tallest fighters of all time. There's Jim. Jim Cully had a quick rise. Cully became champion in his first fight. Champion of what? But he was 7-2. Okay. 3-3, 100% knockout ratio. 3-3, 3 knockouts. 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 knockouts. Another one with 100% knockout ratio. Oh, he was the Irish national heavyweight champion. Yeah, because the guy 7 foot was the tallest ever, alphabet champion, one of the big 4. But Jim Cully was the Irish national heavyweight champion, 7'2". Cully was approached to become a boxer and was offered an opportunity to become champion immediately. Cully's height and power overwhelmed Butcher Howe as Cully knocked him out to become the Irish heavyweight champion. But Cully would lose the title to Chris Cole in his very first defense. Next fight, Cully would continue to fight periodically over the next 6 years. Again, 100% knockout ratio, 3 wins, 3 knockouts. Okay, now I looked this guy's name up, but I forgot what it was. Gogi Mitu. Damn, I looked it up. There we go. Mr. Me Too was discovered while traveling. Me Too briefly left his career as an entertainer, to become a boxer. Wow. He was 7'4", undefeated, 2 wins, no losses, 2 knockouts, undefeated with 100% knockout ratio. Wow, 2-0, 2 knockouts. No kind of titles. Me Too's height made him stand out. He was able to get a job in a traveling circus at age 17. While traveling throughout Europe, Me Too was noticed by a boxer who encouraged him to learn the sport. Me Too eventually learned how to box and had a brief pro career. Okay, and finally, John Rankin is the final one. John Rankin. John Rankin only fought once. Rankin had no interest in a pro career, but he did have one pro fight. He was 7'4", had a record of 1-0, undefeated, no kind of titles. John Rankin worked multiple blue-collar jobs, but was encouraged to pursue sports because of his height. Rankin started boxing, and while uninterested in a pro career, did agree to participate in a 4-round pro fight, which he won by decision. Yeah, undefeated, 1-0. John Rankin. Was decision though, Knockout rate 0. Okay, next, we're gonna look at, since we looked at tallest, we're gonna look at the best heavyweights under 6 foot or 6 feet. Best heavyweights under 6 feet, 6 foot, whatever. You know what I mean. Best heavyweights under 6 is next. We got some good ones on this list. Yep, there's the white. Yep. What's going on? Okay, here we go. Best heavyweights under 6 foot. That clock got to be wrong. 3:20. Been on here like 10 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, the best heavyweights under 6 foot. I got a nice article on the shortest heavyweight ever, too. Okay, let's talk about these. Dwight Muhammad Qawi is first. That's him on the right. We put Michael Spinks in some pain right there. Okay, let's take a look at these heavyweights under 6 foot. The best heavyweights under 6 foot, I got about 10 of them. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, he was 5'5.5", okay? Never won a title with heavyweight. But he would have definitely been the shortest. The shortest heavyweight champion is 5'7". We're gonna get to him. But Dwight was 5'5.5". Damn. Beginning with perhaps the most remarkable example, BoxRec lists Qawi as 5'5.5". It is possible that this is slightly inaccurate and maybe slightly taller than this, but there's one thing certain. This former light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion is well under 6 foot. Although the Camden Buzzsaw never won a world title at heavyweight, a short spell at heavyweight saw Dwight face Big George Foreman in 1988. Although the gutsy smaller man was stopped in the 7th round, there's no doubt his best work was done in the 2 divisions below, light heavyweight and cruiserweight. Qawi vs. Holyfield's 2 fights provided some epic entertainment. Okay, Sam Langford, best heavyweights under 6 foot, 5'6.5". Sam Langford. He comes in at number 2 on the 100 greatest punchers of all time, according to the Ring magazine. Heavyweight legend Jack Dempsey was once quoted as saying, "To hell I feared no man. There was one man I wouldn't fight because I knew he would flatten me. I was afraid of Sam Langford." Langford hung up his gloves with 214 wins, 46 losses, and 44 draws. Amazingly, the Boston Bone Crushers started in the lightweight division and competed in most weights right up to the heavyweight division. Tommy Burns, 5'7". This is the shortest heavyweight ever. We got another longer article on him, time permitting. But Tommy Burns, 5'7". A Canadian, shortest heavyweight champion. A Canadian born by the name Noah Brusso, fought out of Detroit, Michigan in the 1900s. An underdog, not just in size, but when he beat then heavyweight champion Marvin Hart, who was 5'11.5" for the title, and went on to fight the famous Jack Johnson. Although Johnson was convincingly winning, the fight was controversial due to being stopped in 14 rounds by the police. The referee declared Jack Johnson the winner. Burns weighed the equivalent of a modern light heavyweight at 175 pounds, but this did not stop him from success in the heavyweight division. David Tua, 5'10", best heavyweights under 6 foot. David Tua, 5'10". The Tuaminator, although never won a major world title, was one hell of a fighter with some respectable wins over such opposition as John Ruiz, Hasim Rahman, Michael Moorer, Fres Oquendo, and Oleg Moskaev. The Samoan New Zealander fell short to names like Lennox Lewis, Chris Bird, and in an epic battle with Ike Ibebuki. The 40-year-old, okay, that's it. Yeah, epic battle with Ike Ibebuki. Joe Jeanette, he was 5'10". Joe Jeanette, heavyweights under 6 foot. Joe Jeanette was 5'10". Regarded as one of the best Black American heavyweights of the early 20th century, he fought Jack Johnson a total of 10 times, losing twice, winning once on a foul after 2 rounds, drawing twice, and the other 5 ending in no decision. Johnson described Jeanette, the toughest man I ever fought, also known as Joe Jeanette, what his name is. This tough character honed his pugilistic skills as a youth in street fights. That's heavyweights under 6 foot. Okay. James Lights Out Tony. Okay, he was 5'10". That's heavyweights under 6 foot. Lights Out was 5'10". Okay. Oh, I'm already at the top. I was trying to go up, but I'm already at the top. Okay, 5'10", James Toney. He was still fighting at age 44, right? And we can remember a time when Lights Out was a real talented heavyweight, achieving world titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and cruiserweight in 2003. Tony faced Evander Holyfield at heavyweight, put on a masterclass performance against the real deal, stopping him in the 9th round. In April 2005, Tony challenged and beat John Ruiz by unanimous decision for the WBA championship, although tested positive for the anabolic steroids during the post-flight drug test. Tony claimed innocence, suggesting steroids were in his system due to a medical treatment for an arm injury in his previous fight. Although this occurrence taints Tony's legacy as a boxer and his time at heavyweight, watching his performance against Rockman, Ruiz, Peter, and Holyfield shows he had the talent to compete despite the obvious size difference. Mike Tyson was 5'10", under 6 foot. The list could not be complete if Mike Tyson, one of the most devastating heavyweights of all time, wasn't included. Iron Mike, who won the WBC, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles at 20 years old. Tyson is one of boxing's icons and wonders, although longevity was not one of Tyson's achievements. The Catskill Kid became bigger than the sport at one point. A product of Custer Motto, Tyson was sculpted to take advantage of his small size. Joe Frazier, just under 6 foot, 5'11" and a half. Smoking Joe. 21 YGL Greenlight in the building. What's up? 21 YGL Greenlight. James Toney takes steroids his fight against Holyfield. I think it was the one against Ruiz was the one where he tested positive, wasn't it? 21 YGL. Yeah, it was John Ruiz, the one. He actually won the title in that fight that he tested positive. Yeah, there was nothing about steroids in the Holyfield fight. Yeah. Let me make sure. I think it was the John Ruiz fight. He beat John Ruiz for the title, but then I think they took it back because, 21 YGL. It was the John Ruiz fight where he tested positive. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about the Holyfield fight. Right, Arnie, thank you. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about the Holyfield fight. Yeah, Joe Frazier, just under 6 foot, 5'11" and a half. Frazier may have been small in height when he came to the heavyweights, but is regarded as perhaps one of the toughest and most courageous men to ever lace up a pair of gloves. Boxrec credits Smoking Joe as 5'11" and a half, but it is suspected he was closer to 5'10". Frazier's legendary style of fighting suited him well, arming and weaving with a cross-arm defense, continuously applying tremendous pressure to wear down his opponent. The Philadelphian had a chillingly powerful left hook, which famously set the greatest Muhammad Ali on his backside during their first of 3 fights. Yep. Roy Jones was 5'11" before that heavyweight. Arguably the most talented on this list, Captain Hook, is still the only pugilist who started his career at junior middleweight and won a heavyweight title. I think Clarissa Shields did that too. Yeah. But the only man to do it was Roy Jones. Jones won the WBA heavyweight title with John Ruiz in 2003 in his first and only heavyweight fight. And then Rocky Marciano was 5'10". Yeah. Rocky was 5'10". The Brockton Blockbuster, what he did, held the title from 52 to 56. Only heavyweight champion to finish his career undefeated, holding the astonishing pro record up 49 wins, 40 no losses, 43 knockouts. That's like 87% knockout ratio. Mm-hmm. And also, one thing is definite. This man would have been a handful for any heavyweight champion in history, in any era, due to his toughness and ferocity. Incredibly, Rocky only had a 67-inch reach, which is the same as Manny Pacquiao's. And that's the shortest reach of any heavyweight champion in history. Same as Manny Pacquiao's reach. Bob Fitzsimmons, 5'11.5", just under 6 feet. Born in Cornwall, southwest England, Bob, short for Robert, also known as the Freckled Wonder or the Fighting Blacksmith. He won the middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight titles. He was the first one to go from middleweight to heavyweight. Roy Jones was the only other one to do that. And then John L. Sullivan, 5'1", 5'10.5", nicknamed the Boston Strong Boy. Sullivan can be considered as truly the original fight character in heavyweight boxing. An outspoken, brash individual, he once quoted as saying, "I can lick any son of a bitch in the world." In Sullivan's era, there were technically no formal titles as we know it to this day. Nothing, no WBC, WBA, none of that. But history remembers Sullivan as a heavyweight champion with fast and frightful aggressive style, possessing power and ease of hand. And he was the last bare knuckles heavyweight champion and the first glove heavyweight champion. John L. was, yeah. Yeah, Ali said Marciano would have been his toughest matchup. Yeah. He was tough. Rocky was. Marciano. Okay. All right. We got the shortest heavyweight champion of all time was this man. I just said his name. Damn. Hey. There it is right there. Tommy Burns. He was the man who Jack Johnson beat for the title when he first won it. Yeah, in I think it was 1907. Yeah. Burns gave him a shot. Yeah, and lost to Jack Johnson in 1907. He was the shortest heavyweight champion in history. He wasn't the shortest heavyweight now, just the shortest champion. When they ever win the title. Burns. Okay. I had a little thing on Tommy Burns, but we haven't had no link time in a while, so let's holler at the link today. Yeah, I came on yesterday and did this whole exact same show and never hit the live button. I was wondering the whole show, why am I only seeing one? Because I'm in there on my phone. I'm saying, where's everybody at? I was the only one in the thing. I was the only one that could hear me. Man, the whole entire show. I never hit the go live button. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see. You haven't had no link time in a minute, so let's get some link time today. Okay. We had a write-up on Tommy Burns, but yeah. He was the shortest heavyweight in boxing. Champion. Shortest heavyweight champion. We can do that another day. Yeah. But we can start it. We're going to get 25 minutes of link time. Oh. But it is Tommy Burns. That's Tommy Burns right there on the screen. Australia. Well, I think Canada. He fought Jack Dempsey in Australia, but I think he was from Canada. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was from Canada. Okay. Okay, there's the link. All right. What's up, Irony Boxing?
How you doing, sir? God bless.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Awesome.
How's
That's what I
everything?
want to hear.
How's
Pretty good,
everything
thank
going?
you.
That's good.
Appreciate
That's
it.
good.
Man, I gotta get your takes on a couple of things.
Okay.
Errol Spence coming back versus Tim Sue is being rumored. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I heard that. I'd rather he stay retired, but I think that's a good person to come back against, though.
Exactly.
Tim Tszyu. I wouldn't want to see him in Fundora or nobody like that. That was rumored one time, remember?
Yes.
I'd rather see Tim Tszyu, yeah. So if he has to come back, yeah, I'd like that fight, him and Tszyu. Yeah.
I like it too, to be honest with you. And I another thing that I heard was that he is working with Breadman.
Oh,
Edward,
yeah? Okay.
Instead of Derek James or somebody else.
He left Derek. I was wondering who he had went to. Breadman ain't bad. I think he was working with him while he was with Derek a little, wasn't he? At first.
Maybe. I don't remember that.
Some kind of training with him, yeah. So that's a good move, though. Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Good trainer. Yeah, Breadman, I think. Because
I mean, I think he's a good trainer, but I think he's good for. I think he's better suited for maybe like a more footwork oriented, slick oriented fighter, instead of somebody like Errol Spence. I could be wrong because I said the same thing when AJ went to Ben Davidson. I said the same thing, and it actually worked out. So I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong because I want to see him succeed. Like I don't mind if he wants to hang it up because it's been a minute, obviously. But if he feels like he has one more run left in him, I wouldn't mind seeing it, bro. How you doing, Ann McQueen? How you doing, sir?
What's up, man?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon, bro.
Hey, I have one question, Cass. I thought that Ezra Charles also made the quantum.
Made the who now? Wait a minute, Ant. What the hell is that? Oh, go ahead, Ant.
No, I'm saying Ezra Charles. I thought he made the quantum leap from middleweight to heavyweight and was successful.
Oh, he did.
Yes,
he sure did. Yeah, Ezra made it too.
But see, I had to ask that question because when you were doing the show, I was over here listening. I wasn't typing. I was driving.
Yeah.
And you said it was two guys. I can't remember who you said. It was Roy Jones and somebody else.
Bob Fitzsimmons. They both won titles. Ezra didn't win a title at middleweight though.
Hang on. What about Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah, him and Bob Fitzsimmons.
Oh, okay.
But Ezra did make the leap.
Ezra fought Rocky, but fell short.
Yeah, he didn't win the title at middleweight though, but he won it at heavyweight. Yeah.
Hang on a second. Ezra Charles won the heavyweight championship?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that. I thought he fell short against Rocky Marciano. And that's it. Okay, let me go back and check it.
Rocky.
Yeah, I know he lost to Rocky Marciano, but I was under the impression that he beat somebody else for the title.
Maybe Jersey? No.
I don't know who he beat. I know he beat Joe Louis while he had it. It might have been Jersey Joe Walcott. You look at the irony?
Okay.
See who he beat for it?
Yeah, let me check it out.
Because I think he had won and lost it by the time he fought Rocky. Yeah.
Man, I thought for sure he came close but didn't win it. Give me a second. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, I saw Breadman posted on Twitter that nothing is confirmed. He just said that Errol was in Philadelphia getting some work. I know that he sparred with one of his fighters.
Yeah.
Peterson, Ron Peterson. So they got some work in.
Okay.
To the point that you were making, Irony, I think it might be a good fit because we got to remember about a guy, because I thought you made a great point with Anthony Joshua. Remember, Anthony Joshua was a damn Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that there were a lot of things that he learned during his come up in the amateurs that Ben Davison was able to refresh. And I would say the same thing could possibly be true with Errol Spence. I mean, the guy was a former Olympian, so I'm pretty sure that there are certain aspects of his game that are still there that just need to be awoken.
I love it. Because I like Errol Spence, man. I really want to see him succeed. I've always liked him, and I don't want him to enter that basket of, a few fighters like Michael Moorer, Hector Camacho, Wilfredo Gomez, and so on, where you're mostly known for that one loss more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't want him to enter in that basket.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's a lot more. To a degree, Alexis Arguello is also in that basket. I don't agree with that, but
No, yeah.
Yeah, he got a lot of grief for his loss to the Hawk.
Yeah.
But he's a damn good fighter. And I mean, that's a great point. But I feel like with Errol Spence, if anybody's reasonable, they would understand his circumstance had a lot to do with that. With not just that loss, but it was kind of like a straw that broke the camel's back type of situation, where he had multiple occurrences that happened back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Like first it was the car accident, then he had the detached retina, which forced him to withdraw from the Pacquiao fight. Ugas was his substitute, and then he had another little fender bender before the Crawford fight, and he also had another eye injury.
Yeah,
where directly after the fight with Bud, he ended up getting cataract surgery. So it was more so all of the wear and tear that piled up seemingly overnight that really derailed him more so than just that one loss. Because we got to remember, once again, the Pacquiao fight, the potential Pacquiao fight got taken off the table. So we would also be looking at him a lot differently had those things not occurred.
Yes, I mean, you're absolutely right in everything you said, but I still recognize his greatness with all of those things coming into play, even if, because listen, let's be honest here, that was Bud Crawford probably keystone moment of his career, more so than Canelo, that Errol Spence performance, because overwhelmingly people was 50-50 fight or whatever the case may be, and I just see this all of these other things that he did, and to me his resume speaks for himself, man. But the way people look at a sport as a whole, I just saw that danger for him. But if they want to put him in that basket, God knows what's going to happen. It's not even official, the Team Sue fight. I think it's only rumored at this point, but he is back training, that's for sure. He wants to come back, so I hope that he, man, I don't know, with all that time, who knows, right? I mean, that's always going to be a question mark, but I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't see it that way, but a lot of people are going to, by the way, I'm sorry, he beat Jersey Joe Walcott. Ezra Charles says here, Ezra Charles won the heavyweight title by defeating Jersey Joe Walcott.
Joe Louis vacated it.
There it is. Yep.
1949.
Okay, so then that's three guys that made the leap.
Ezra Charles too. Yeah, because him and Jersey Joe fought for the vacant title after Joe Louis. Yeah. Then Joe Louis came back and Ezra Charles beat him. But Ezra Charles was already champion then, though. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have never come back, bro. It's just that the IRS screwed him.
I know they did it wrong.
And
he donated all that money, that they taxed him for, to the government, to the war effort, and to veterans centers, veterans groups. So I thought that was really wrong,
to say the least.
Yeah.
But what you guys think about? Oh man, I just forgot. I was gonna ask, what you think should be the next move, Ann McQueen and Cass, for Brandon Figueroa, as far as Ball 2 or Leo or Shushu or Espinosa? I want to see Shushu, to be honest with you, but that's just me.
I would like to see that. Yeah, to be honest with you, man, I can't think of too many dull Brandon Figueroa fights. Like that guy is all action. Now, me personally, I felt like my man Joet Gonzalez got a bit of a raw deal in that fight, but it was entertaining. It was super entertaining. Them guys were like fighting in the trenches. That was straight up toe-to-toe action.
And that was one of my problems with the actual fight. Not to interrupt you, just real quick, okay? Because you
no, go ahead.
Right? That was one of my problems when the fight even got announced. Number one, Brandon Figueroa, I didn't necessarily see him beat Joet Gonzalez, but also another thing, Nick Ball has an interim champion in his division, and his name is Mirko Cuello. That's been active, been there for a minute, and for whatever reason, he keeps skipping him. It's kind of like becoming a Chakram Giyasov type of situation. Not that bad, but and that was my two problems with the fight. But I'm happy for Brandon Figueroa, man. What a resurgence.
Absolutely, but that right there, man, it shows you the power of having a good team that's able to put you in position. And kudos to Brandon for being able to capitalize on the opportunity. Yes, Chakra, man, that guy's been waiting in the wings for the WBA at 147 for a minute now.
Yes, sir.
I remember seeing him fight on the undercard of Boots Stanionis. I'm like, damn, that should have been him versus Stanionis, quiet as kept.
Exactly. Now, he did take step aside money, and I think...
Twice.
Exactly.
Twice. And then he had the tragic situation with the passing of his daughter.
Right. I was just about to say that. Like,
I would like to see who was that you said? Pollo?
Who did I say?
At 120. He's at 126, right? And he's just waiting there collecting dust. Basically.
Oh, Mirko Cuello, yeah. Mirko Cuello.
Yeah. Oh, Mirko. Yep. Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Bro, that what's the name? That body shot.
Yes.
That stoppage that he got over Olivio, that was sensational.
Bro, what
now, I keep telling people stop wearing them damn black sequin trunks. Because remember, Olivio was up big in that fight. And then he gets dropped to the body twice. Yes, Mirko is rugged as hell. And that guy's, I like his body attack. Oh, my Lord. I love the way he digs to the body. Yeah, he's serious. But you know them Argentinians, for whatever reason, they just tend to be strong as hell for no reason. Them and them guys from Venezuela. Them guys from Venezuela just, I don't know what it is. Like they're just born with punching power, it seems like.
Yep.
Tough, yeah.
Yeah, so I hate to see that, bro. And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm sorry, Cass, what do you think?
About what? About 126?
What should Figueroa do next? Shushu or Bolt 2?
I just would like to just see him unify. Any of them, you know?
Yeah, because 126, not for nothing.
Go ahead, Arnie.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You were talking.
I was just saying, mix it up, unify. You got the belts in 4 separate hands now, right?
Yeah, like 140. Yep. I mean, not for nothing. 126 and 140 is the same thing, man. Nobody is even talking about unifying, you know?
I know.
Yep.
No,
all of them unifications will make for some entertaining fights.
All of them,
yeah. For sure,
man. Bro. I know. Espinoza and Figueroa. That would be a dynamite fight.
That would be fan friendly.
Because you know Divino, he's no joke, man. I'm still pissed off that he stopped my guy a couple months back, but it is what it is. He's back in the ring, by the way, in about 2 weeks on Pro Box.
Who is that, Ant?
Edward Vasquez.
Oh, okay.
Edwin Vasquez. Okay.
Edward Vasquez. That's my favorite fighter.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. I just love his style, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love his style. It's so entertaining to see a guy who's got like very little punching power.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you would think that he does by the way that he fights. Like he fights with like such like doggedness and command. I think he got a raw deal versus Joe Cordina. He should have been the damn IBF champion at 130. I don't give a damn what nobody says. And I also feel like he got a raw deal versus Raymond Ford too. He was putting hands and feet on Raymond Ford.
I love me some Joe Cordina, but I'm not gonna lie, I tend to agree with you on that one.
Nah, I like Joe too. I do like Joe. Don't get me wrong. I like Joe. I felt like the Anthony Kakachi fight. I feel like he got a raw deal in that one because he got hit like after the bell. That was bogus as hell. And
Exactly.
it just seemed like he never recovered after that. But Joe can fight. He can fight his tail off, man. That's why I wasn't really too I wasn't too much in alignment with what people were saying when the Shakur fight was announced. I'm like, how the hell is this supposed to be some sort of slight, or to say, oh, he ain't fight nobody? But then again, irony, it goes back to what you were saying before about fans, and this is why at this point I kind of like tune it out. It don't even really get too worked up about it, because then we can be talking about how fans fan it's like all day long, just like I'm just like can't even pay no attention to it, because it's just frustrating at times. But like Joe Cordina is a quality champion. This guy made several title defenses. He's no slouch. He's no bum. He's no pushover. He's a quality champion, not a belt holder.
Matchup with Shakur too. Cordina Shakur matchup.
I think Shakur would have whooped his ass, but it's not. But it doesn't take anything away from Joe Cordina. I just think that highly of Shakur.
Me too, man. Like, ain't no shame in losing to Shakur. First of all, every single other man that's fought Shakur has lost too, and you're losing against the toughest guys to hit in boxing today, and probably the best boxing.
Did you hear the statistic that they put out there the other day? They said that this man, he only loses 1 out of every 14 rounds.
Yeah.
1 out of every 14 rounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That means like damn near every fight is virtually like a shutout.
Yeah. And he's been like that his entire career from the beginning, you know.
So there's no shame in losing to that guy. There's nobody who is better, more consistent on a round-to-round basis at managing a fight than Shakur Stevenson right now. You can say whatever you want about his lack of killer instinct or doggedness and power and all this other stuff, but on a round-to-round basis, there's nobody who understands boxing, not fighting, but boxing better than Shakur Stevenson.
Yep.
It's nobody.
I agree with that 1,000,000%, and I wouldn't even put nobody close right now. I wouldn't put anybody second right now. Is what I mean.
Who would y'all like to see him fight next? Shakur.
I would love to see, because it's puzzling to me, right? Because I don't want to see the Conor Benn fight, to be honest with you, but I get it from a marketing standpoint. I mean, go to Wembley, pay him, whoop his ass, gain some fans.
Exactly.
Become more global, you know, I mean, it's got all the upside in the world, because this guy can sell and he's garbage. So it's perfect for you from that standpoint. Obviously, you got the best of both worlds, the least threat and the most to gain in money. So, okay, if that's on the table, why not? He's earned that to me the same way I say Usyk has earned the right to fight whoever he wants and fought Crawford at the time. I'll say the same thing for Shakur. If he wants to go that route, that's not what I want to see, but he's earned that. So if he wants to do that, go do that. Now, what I want to see Shakur do personally is not going to happen, which is fight Keyshawn Davis. So that's out of the picture. In that instance, go ahead.
One day.
I don't really care to see that one, to be honest with you.
Okay.
No.
In that case, well, because that's not really on the table. Let's be honest here, anyway. So I don't want to see him jump to 47 right away and go after Devin Haney. I don't want to see that. Not now. I want to see the fight. I just don't want to see it now.
Yeah.
I want to see him clean house. I want to see him clean house.
So
fight
140 or 135.
Yeah. Show up to
which division you talking about, Arnie?
40.
40. Okay.
40. Pull up to the Garcia Barrios undercard. You got 2 140 fights there for title. You got Hutchinson versus Duarte, and you got Russell versus Hiroka. Pull up there, pull somebody out. Bro.
That's the fight that I would like to see Shakur fight, honestly. I would like to see him fight Gary Antoine.
Yes, that's the one.
Did you see the clips of their sparring together?
I have not actually.
Oh man. Yeah, it had leaked a couple months ago. And I think that would be a terrific fight because Gary Antoine, it was just the perfect mesh of styles. I feel like him and Keyshawn, while I think it would be a good fight because they're both very good tactically and technically and everything in between, I feel like it would be maybe too much of a chess match. Especially given the fact that these guys know each other and their tendencies, and then also, you know, the affinity that they have for one another. I couldn't even imagine that these guys would be trying to strike each other with any type of spite. But Gary Antoine,
definitely gonna take something.
Bro, if you get the opportunity, it should be on YouTube. I saw it on X, but it should be on YouTube.
Do you remember which
Gary
account? X?
Gary was trying to press him, Arnie. He's trying to press Shakur. He's pressing him, like firing like 1,000 jabs, and Shakur is in there like Neo in the Matrix. He's, you know what I mean? He's walking through the rain without getting wet. All that good stuff. It was just brilliant
Like
to see.
water, man, like water.
So you got one guy pressing, throwing 1,000,001 punches, and the other guy, his defense is just like magnificent.
Yeah.
And then he's flipping in little counter shots in between. And there was a moment where Gary Antoine pressed him and had him on the ropes, bro. And Shakur was able to hold his own in there. He's like framing and firing back in the pocket. I'm like, damn, this is what I would want to see, honestly. Because I feel like, once again, I think that him and Keyshawn, for us, that would be a great fight because we like that type of stuff. But for as far as being able to get something that's both not just tactical, but also exciting, I feel like Gary Antoine and Shakur is where it's at. Especially if Gary Antoine shows up the way that he did versus Rayo.
For
Man,
sure.
bro,
Yeah,
they had several rounds in that fight where he fired over 75 jabs. Now, we know Shakur's got one of the best defenses in the game, but how do you deal with somebody with that type of output? And we saw a glimpse of it with the Zepeda fight, and that was entertaining, right? But a lot of people say, "Oh, finally he stood there and he dealt with this, that, and the third." I think that Gary Antoine, he's got the motor to push Shakur, but I also feel like he's technically sound and he's savvy enough to make it interesting. I don't think that he can box with Shakur at super long stinks, but I think that he can box well enough, and you combine that with the physicality and also with the output. I think we got a terrific fight right there.
Yeah, I've been saying that one for a minute.
Let me present this scenario to you, and I agree with everything you just said, and I will openly admit to you that out of the three other champions, Russell is without a doubt the most intriguing matchup to me. Some people may say it's Hitchinson. Maybe I don't see that. I think
That's not the most intriguing, but that's another damn good chess match too. Because Richard Hitchens, he boxes exceptionally well from range, but I think it would just be like a lot of jousting, poking and prodding, probing and jabbing, and resetting the range and all that stuff. It'll be one of those, which I enjoy watching that too. And we're gonna see who's gonna break first, who's gonna make more mistakes, who can influence the other guy to make more mistakes, and who can capitalize. But as far as just like the way the styles mesh, because once again, like Gary Antoine, he showed that he's gonna come to get it regardless. He's gonna come to get it. Do I think he beats Shakur? I don't think so. Because I think one thing about Shakur that goes unnoticed oftentimes is his physical strength, bro. Like, I think that he's physical enough to be able to fight on the inside with Gary in spots. And I also think that he's a little bit more sound than Gary on the inside. I think that Gary could be a little bit leaky, but I think the thing that gets him caught is what makes him exciting.
Hey, Ant, you
What's
think
that?
Gary will win more rounds than normal against Shakur in their fight?
Possibly. I think possibly. And the reason why I say possibly is because it'll be determined by whether or not Gary can avoid the trap.
Yeah.
And the trap with Shakur is getting put in a space where now you're just overthinking and you don't want to commit. Like we saw with Teofimo. I heard Chris Algieri say something about Teofimo's his gas tank or his stamina and how he fades late in fights. And I had to disagree with that because of evidence to support the contrary. Like we've seen the way that he closed versus George Kambosos. He gets a lot of grief for that fight. Oh, you lost to George Kambosos. He ain't this, that, and the third. But we got to remember, he lost by split decision. So it wasn't like he just went out there and got his butt whipped the whole fight. He got dropped early on. Yeah, he got cut. He was bleeding, but he also returned the favor and put George Kambosos on the deck, and he closed the fight exceptionally strong.
Look at the 12th round he had against Loma. You know?
The 12th round against Loma, he threw over 100 punches in that fight. I think it was 103 to be exact. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was a stamina issue versus Shakur. And I'll also be remiss if I didn't mention this fight. The fight with Steve Claggett. He threw over 1,000 punches in that fight. Does that sound like a guy with stamina issues to you?
Not at all.
I think what happened with Shakur wasn't his stamina physically, it was mentally. When you get in a position where the guy, his position is so strong and he hardly ever breaks position, it makes you leery because now you don't want to miss, because if you miss, then he's in position to counter you. and you don't want to get counted. You don't want to get walked into something you don't see. So that now you start to hesitate. Now you start to think a little bit too much. Then we saw there were moments where Tio was like getting desperate. He's already got an issue with his mechanics as far as like being over reliant on his athleticism. You see him throw his right hand, he's falling in. But against Shakur, it was like it was magnified. Simply because Shakur, his positioning is just so damn steady. I think he's got some of the best feet in boxing. And generally, when we think about good footwork, we think about elusiveness and agility and moving about the ring. Being a cyclist, kind of like one of my favorite fighters, Marvia. Like, I love Sergio Martinez. I love the way that dude uses his legs. But Shakur don't use his legs like Marvia. Like, Shakur is like half step back, step over here, step over there. And then he never crosses his feet. he's always in balance to defend himself. He's always in balance to throw something. Like, the dude is just always well balanced.
Now let me present this scenario to you, right? Here's the thing, and here's why I believe the one that makes more sense for Shakur is Dalton Smith. Just hear me out, okay?
Lay it on us.
Chances are Hitchins and Russell, provided that they both win, which, by the way, I have Duarte pulling up a shocking upset, but we can get into that later. If they both win, chances are they're going to call each other out. They fight one right after the other. You know, that's no accident. Maybe it is. I refuse to believe that, right? So Dalton Smith is the one that makes the most sense because it's a unification. It's the other champion. He's coming with all momentum with a stoppage win over my guy. Thank you very much, right? And not only that, go to the UK, bro. You're going to have 2-for-1 over there. You're going to unify because you're going to beat that guy. And you're going to go more global. Listen, you're not going to make as much money as with Conor Benn, okay? Obviously. But, bro, you unify, you gain UK fans. Now you fought in the UK. Now you fought in 2 countries, right? Unless I'm missing another country, but I believe he's always fought in USA. So now you fought in UK, which is a boxing, region. Obviously, you gain more fans, you become more global, get your own unification, and if Hitchins and Russell fight each other, which for whatever reason I believe Hitchins...
I thought he fought in Saudi back in February to fight against Padley.
Padley, exactly. I'm sorry, exactly. Appreciate that.
Nah, because I was thinking about it too, because I was thinking about the last ring card, but then I was like, no, that was here in New York. I was thinking, but then I was like, there was another card that he fought on. But I know he's definitely fought overseas in the amateurs. And... man, you laying it on. I don't know if you mentioned this one point though, Irony, which is same promoter.
Exactly, bro. You got Eddie right there.
You got Eddie. They're both with Matchroom, so that's a win-win for Matchroom. Whoever wins, then you just place more money on their stock.
Oh hell, I think that's the reason why it's not gonna happen. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it does, but I mean, Conor Benn is with Eddie too, so I guess. Yeah. I mean,
he sounds like he'd be willing. And one thing I do like about Eddie, and I got to give Eddie his credit, he is not one to hold his guys back from opportunities. If they happen to take an L, then they just happen to take an L. And then they just go back to the drawing board and figure it out from there.
That's how it's supposed to be,
Right. It happened with Conor Benn versus Eubank 1. I mean,
yes, it did.
And that's why I believe, and thank you for saying that, for all those reasons, I would go after Dalton Smith. Personally, I don't know if Dalton is gonna say yes, but that is the one that makes most sense to me right now, because something tells me that Hitchinson and Russell are gonna listen. They're fighting one after the other. They're both champions in the same division. That cannot be a coincidence. I refuse.
You said Duarte was gonna pull the upset on Arnie.
Yeah, I believe so, but I'm not betting the house on that. I'm not high on Duarte. I know Ann McQueen is pretty high on Duarte and probably Cass as well. I'll be the black sheep,
I'm not too high on Duarte actually. I'm not.
I just believe that he's gonna catch him with something, because Hitchins has problems with pressure fighters that aren't necessarily high level pressure fighters, with all due respect to Gustavo Lemos, and I don't know, man. I don't know.
I thought Hitchins was trying to fight Keyshawn if he wins.
I think the issue that he has with him is the fact that they're unorthodox. I think that Richardson Hitchens is so conventional that he can deal with that well. When you got a guy that's gonna do all the conventional things, fire the 1-2, double up the jab, and so on and so forth, he can handle that stuff. But when you got a guy that's gonna just be like chucking overhands and swinging wildly, and then just applying like a relentless type of pressure, because Hitchens is not much of a counterpuncher. He's a guy that controls the space, he controls the range, and he likes to keep you out on the outside. I think he's got a sneaky good right hand that he doesn't use hardly enough.
Right.
I feel like the John Bowser fight is evidence of that. Like, he was lighting John Bowser up like a Christmas tree. He was lighting him up.
And look at who he's had more success against. Like Liam Paro and George Kambosos are not really pressure fighters. They are more like a mid-range type of operators. Liam Paro is more like a counter-puncher type of fighter. That's why Subriel was so perfect for him. And Kambosos is not really a pressure fighter. He couldn't do anything to Devin Haney 2 times in his own backyard. You know, so those are perfect matchups for Hitchens. The pressure fighter, the one, like you said, the one that's going to be unconventional and throw punches from weird angles and
odd timings.
Exactly, and not necessarily afraid to make it a little dirty-ish at times. You know, those are the ones that. So I don't see him fighting Gary Antoine Russell. I'd be shocked if Richardson Hitchens ever fights Gary Antoine Russell, to be honest with you. But with all that being said, that's the reason why I believe Duarte can really pull off a shocker here.
Yeah, that would be. You know, Frank Martin on the card too.
I'll be right back.
See, but he's got to be willing to tax him, because Oscar Duarte is another guy who's got a serious overcommitment issue. Like, if you watch him throw his right hand, damn near every time he throws it, he's inadvertently southpaw. So you gotta tax a guy like that. If not, it could potentially be like the Gustavo Lemos fight all over again. And the reason why Lemos was getting away with it was because Hitchens wasn't taxing him for it. The guy was reaching, overextended, and he just wasn't drilling him with the shot. Now, you look at the way that the Keyshawn fight played out with Lemos. Every time Lemos made a mistake, he made him pay, and he made him pay big. He got him up out of there within 2 rounds.
Yes, he did. That was beautiful. What do you think about Frank Martin? Come back. Who's it? Albright? They hear Albright and Frank, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how he looks in his second camp with Buddy McGirt, man.
Yeah.
I love what I heard from Buddy in that fight against Bartholomew. I thought Buddy's instruction was great. I love how he was keeping him mindful of circling away from the power and walking him into shots and all that stuff. It was just great to see. So, and Buddy was an underrated southpaw in his own regard.
Yes, he was.
You know what I'm saying? This dude's a damn Hall of Famer. So I want to see how that looks in the second fight. And Nahir Albright is no slouch.
No.
He gave Keyshawn Davis a little bit of a scare in the 8th round of their fight. Buzzed him real bad with a right hand, caught him coming in a little reckless. Then we seen that he beat his brother, Kelvin. Then apparently they tried to rush the man backstage. So Nahir Albright, he's definitely a nice sturdy test for Frank Martin, and I believe that he should be able to provide him with a little bit more resistance than Bartholomew did, because Bartholomew, although a former champion, he's a bit long in the tooth at this point.
Yeah, Francis is getting up there.
He's getting up there.
But still a tough test, though. Good opponent for Frank. I like it.
Damn good opponent for Frank, especially after that layoff that he had. Last time he fought prior to the previous fight was against Tank, and that was a minute ago. So it's a good fight for him to get his feet wet.
Who you got in the main event on that one?
I'm still undecided because I don't know what to make of Mario Barrios at times. Yeah. Honestly, I really don't.
That is so true.
Because I think that Barrios he's a solid fighter, man. Like, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's weak. I think he's just solid across the board. Like, he's not exceptional defensively, but he's not bad either. He's not exceptional offensively, but he's not bad either. He's just really, really, really solid. The one thing that does piss me off a little bit about Mario Barrios is, despite the fact that he's very, very tough and he appears to be fairly durable, it's frustrating as hell to see the lack of like a mean streak with him, man.
Yeah, that's the thing with him.
Yeah, because I seen him fight against Maidana's brother, Fabian Maidana, and he hurt him in that fight, but then didn't really step on the gas. Against
Manny.
Against Manny, he hurt Manny to the body, and then allowed Manny to basically referee the fight.
Yeah.
Manny told him not to hit him to the body. He didn't go to the body anymore.
Nope.
Then you got his coach on his case. Like, hey, don't allow him to referee the fight. Like, who does he think he is?
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then there was another fight that was like that too. Uncle Abel Ramos.
Okay, Ramos. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was on that I think it was that Mike Tyson undercard.
Oh,
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
The
I
Netflix.
missed that one.
All right, so he hurt him. He dropped him twice in that fight.
Yeah.
Dropped him twice. Then allowed the guy to get back into the fight. Allowed him to get back into the fight. End up getting dropped himself. It's like Barrios. He's a just really solid fighter, but he just seems to lack the urgency. That's how I feel about him. Like, it just seems like he just lacks urgency.
Like James Toney said, you gotta get that dog in him.
See, but that's the thing, though. I think he is a dog because you look at the Tank fight. He got dropped in that fight multiple times. It's not like he got dropped and pulled a Ryan Garcia where he's looking at the ref and he gets up at the count of 10. He got dropped in the 8th. He got dropped twice in the 8th. Then he got stopped to the body in the 11th. And that was the only guy to stop him.
Yeah.
And he's been in there with some big punches. Like, Abel Ramos can punch. That dude boasts like a 78% knockout ratio, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a trap fight, because you look at Abel Ramos, he's no spring chicken. He's up there in age, right?
Yeah.
But the guy still has power, and we know about the old adage in boxing, which is power is the last thing to go.
Right.
And Uncle Abel proved that versus Barrios, that the power didn't go nowhere. He may not have the hand speed, he may not have the legs, but if you're in front of him long enough and he can put one on you, he can hurt you.
Yeah, he can hurt you.
He can hurt
Get you out of there.
Yeah, and Barrios, man, he got his face busted up after being in basically cruise control for about the first leg of the fight. I want to say like the first 4 rounds, maybe 5 rounds. He was boxing magnificently. He was like, the jab was beautiful. I love the way that he was hooking off the jab. The right hand was looking like a damn laser. And then just inexplicably, he fell asleep at the wheel. And the next thing you know, you got Uncle Abel's old ass putting him on the canvas. So that's the thing with Barrios. I felt like the same thing happened with Keith Thurman. Like, he hurt Keith Thurman pretty bad when they fought. He hurt him to the body.
Okay, I'm back here, fellas. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, keep spitting out the gum shield and everything.
Yep.
And then he just Mario Barrios.
Diego Chavez also hurt Keith Thurman. I mean, I know that was early in his career, but
so did what's my man's name, Luis Colasso. He really hurt Keith to the body as well. But Barrios had him hurt to the body, and he just seemed like he was going through the motions. Like, bro, go get him.
The same thing in the Abel Ramos fight, bro. He was eating him alive.
I was just saying that. He was up big. First 4 or 5 rounds, he was magnificent, and then he just.
I tell people, bro, I'm way more disappointed at Barrios in the Ramos fight than I am in the Senator Manny fight, because everybody know he purposefully took his foot off the gas in that fight. But the Abel Ramos fight, bro, that was so disappointing, man. Like that's why I believe Ryan's gonna beat him, man. I believe now. Without being said, I wouldn't bet a nickel in that fight, obviously. But it's the first time we're going to see Ryan fight somebody that's legitimately bigger than him, right? Because I don't believe Devin and Luke Campbell were bigger than Ryan. Maybe they were like almost eye level, but bigger than Ryan, the way Barrios obviously is, that's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, it is. You got Ryan on by decision?
No, I got him stopping. This fight is gonna be super exciting. I think it's gonna be because here's why I think this fight is gonna be super exciting. They got no choice. They're both got their backs against the wall. If you look at it, like Ryan is coming from a very bad loss to Rolly Romero, where the stage was set for him to win and get that Devin rematch. You know, the stage was set for him, and he fumbled that back.
Yeah,
so
he did.
He can't go 0-2 against two fighters that, with all due respect, in my opinion, are not that good to begin with. Okay, it's one thing if that's Devin and Tank, that's another league. But so his back is against the wall. He knows the fucking around time is over. Hopefully, he knows it. Yeah. And Mario Barrios, same thing. He's coming off of 2 draws. That he basically let both fights go. Literally.
Yeah, that's true.
So both of them got their backs against the wall, so they have to show up. Otherwise, it's pretty much a wrap here for both of them, in my opinion. That's why I believe this is going to be a hell of a fight with a couple of knockdowns either way, and I think Ryan's going to catch him with a left hook and get a TKO. Around 7 or 8, something like that. But they have to show up. They can't fuck around this time. Not this time. That's how I see it, you know. Both their situations are very precarious coming into this fight, man.
I've considered that as well, Ryan being able to stop him. But my reason for it is just the amount of punchers that Barrios has faced in the past couple of fights, man. He's been in there with some guys that can crack. And he's been fairly durable because he's only been stopped one time, and that was against Tank. But I mean, how many fights like that can you take before your chin starts to erode, or your durability, or not even just that, but your willingness to take some of those punches? Maybe he starts to concede a little bit here.
Yeah. Let me piggyback on that point, because I talked about this last night on my live, and I said the body of work or the mileage on Barrios' scar doesn't compare. I mean, I'm sorry, the mileage on Ryan's card does not compare, in my opinion, to the mileage on Mario Barrios' card. Like, Barrios has taken, like, even the Tank fight. I don't even have to go much further than the Tank fight, because obviously they both lost to Tank. So Tank, you know, if you look at Ryan against Tank, he got caught to the face first and then to the body and couldn't recover. Okay, it happens, but Tank beat the living hell out of Mario Barrios, bro. Like, that was hard to watch in the later rounds. I know he was doing good early and everything, but the beating that Mario Barrios took in that fight, that was a beating. There's a difference between taking a beating and just getting caught.
Getting caught with a good shot. Yeah, I agree. You know? Because you got to take that second round with Ryan Garcia and take into consideration where, like, Tank only threw 6 punches in that whole round and landed 3 of them. Right. So I'm with you 1,000%. It was a cumulative with Mario Barrios, to the point where he was just getting broken up and broken down. And
I have a theory, bro. You may agree or disagree, but I have a theory that he's never been the same after Tank. My theory is that Mario Barrios never really been the same after Tank.
I can agree with that. No, I can. Yes. I can. Because we got to, and this is what I said about the urgency. Like, Mario Barrios, prior to the Tank fight, I think his KO ratio was like in the low 70s or something like that. So he was willing to go get it once upon a time. And I think that after the Tank fight, it might have put a little bit of apprehension in him, to where he's not willing to take some of the same chances that he once did. Despite the fact, and that's why that Abel Ramos fight pissed me off, because remember, he dropped Ramos twice early in the fight. And he was boxing well, but then it's like, bro, you got the man hurt in front of you. Like Emmanuel Stewart said, you got a dead man in front of you.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
You gotta let that go.
He had that boy on a silver platter, bro.
He did. And then he let the old man, he let Uncle Abel stick around and then end up getting dropped himself. But it felt like if he would have had just a tad bit more urgency, he could have really seized the moment. And I think that part of his apprehension or his hesitance to fight like that and like lay it on the line, I think it could be. I think your theory is plausible. Just put it that way, because something changes sometimes when you see a guy that once was like really vicious. John Mugabe comes to mind. Like, remember John Nabiz Mugabe was like putting hands and feet on everybody. Marvin Hagler whooped his ass, and Marvin Hagler said before the fight, I'm gonna ruin him.
And he did.
He did. And then you seen the fight that he had afterwards with Terry Norris. He got beat up in one round, and he didn't look like the same dude.
Yeah,
that was fighting like Hard Rock Green and all them other dudes.
Yeah,
man. Like he didn't have the same. He didn't look like the beast. He looked relatively tame. I think the same thing happened with God bless him, man. He's supposed to be fighting Jack Catterall. I saw it was just announced. Jose Ramirez. Remember Jose Ramirez before the Josh Taylor fight, man? He was ferocious, bro.
Yeah.
Say that again. Who's fighting Jack Catterall?
Jose Ramirez.
Oh,
yeah, I can agree with
I don't
Ramirez.
care for that fight, to be honest with you. But
neither do I. Neither do I. I don't. And the only reason why I don't necessarily care for it is because Jose Ramirez is not the Jose Ramirez of old. Prior to the fight with Josh Taylor, man, like
what a fight that was, bro. Come on, man.
Jose definitely wasn't the same after that, neither.
But here's the problem. I've never been high on Jack Catterall, to be honest with you.
Had to kill something like that, too.
Jose was a beast.
I think that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said Jose was a beast that one time.
Ant, I think you're cutting out or something.
He got married.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I was saying that Just Do was saying something along the lines of Jose getting married and having a child around that period of the Josh Taylor fight. And I know Floyd Patterson spoke about when he knew that like the spark was gone, when it got to a point where he loved his wife more than he loved to train and more than he loved to fight. So like the fire wasn't necessarily there. Like he still wanted to do it, but he just didn't have that same edge. And I wonder if maybe something like that happened with Jose Ramirez, where the combination of the Josh Taylor fight, because that was a grueling ass fight, got dropped several times in that fight, and then you combine that with now you got a wife and a child, and you got somebody to think about besides yourself.
Exactly.
So now going out on the Shield, it isn't necessarily the first option or the first thought. And then you see him applying pressure in these fights now, but he's not pulling the trigger. Like in the fight against Devin Haney, and I mean this is no slight to Devin, but Devin didn't do anything special to deter him. Hell, he barely threw any punches in the first round. And Jose would get in front of him, but he just wouldn't let his hands go. It seemed like he was concerned about what was coming back before anything was even thrown.
Jack Catterall, bro, disappointed me so much on the Arnold Barboza fight. Now, with that being said, I do believe that the Bocianis decision was a great decision, which we're going to wait and see. You know, he beat Eko Esselman. We'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I don't really care for that fight, to be honest with you. But I'll see it. Obviously, I see anything. But I want to get your take, Ant, on one thing, bro. Emmanuel Navarrete versus Sugar Nunez, brother.
Oh, man. I think it's going to be a barn burner because I feel like they're kind of kin in ways. I think that they fight somewhat similarly. As weird as this may sound, I think that they fight somewhat similarly. I just believe that the difference is the coordination and the dexterity that Sugar Nunez possesses, that it affords him to make some of these maneuvers and make it look a tad bit more graceful. But when you look at some of the punch attempts, I can't remember who the hell Sugar Nunez is fighting. It was on IBA. And I was like, damn, thank God he's athletic as hell, because some of the things that he's attempting, he shouldn't even be able to get away with.
Talking about the Japanese guy that he fought, Rikishi, or
no. It wasn't a Japanese guy. It was on IBA. But it wasn't a Japanese guy. I can't remember what the gentleman's name was.
Was it last year or a while back?
It was maybe the year before last. It might have been 2024. But he can be reckless as hell, but he is a terrific athlete. I gotta give him his credit. Like that guy, like he's like super twitchy, super explosive. So I think that him and Navarrete, I feel like him and Vaquero, I feel like they fight somewhat similar. But again, I just think that Sugar is the better athlete, so it just looks a little bit more graceful. But with that being said, I think that it's gonna be a barn burner. It's gonna be scrappy as hell, and I do think that it's got the potential to also be somewhat of a sloppy fight, maybe similar to Navarrete's fight with Dennis Baranchyk, but with just some heavier punches landed, because we know no disrespect to Dennis Baranchyk, but he ain't really got too much substance on his punches. But I think it could be similar to that. Sugar Nunez did look a little vulnerable, I might say, in that fight with Christopher Diaz. I'm not sure if you watched that one.
I watched that one, and it was a hell of a fight, bro.
Hell of a fight
that was. My goodness. I was thinking maybe in Billy Lester Martinez type of fight we're gonna get.
It could be.
I got Nunez stopping him late.
You think so?
Yes.
How does he do it? To the body or to the head?
I think he does it to the head, but setting it up to the body. Because I would be, first of all, let me say this: I would be shocked if this fight is not a fight of the year contender. I'd be shocked if it's not.
When is it, Arnie?
Likewise,
I think he's late this month.
Likewise, I think the only way that it's not a fight of the year contender is if it turns out the way that I can somewhat see it going, which is similar to the Baranchyk fight. Because that fight was just so damn sloppy. It was like...
That's true.
It was like a barroom brawl. But I do think that just based on the mentality of both guys, like neither one of them dudes is trying to go the distance. They're both throwing everything with a whole lot of spite and with a whole lot of value.
But here's another reason why I believe Nunez is going to topple him. And I can see, again, multiple knockdowns and everything. We're probably going to get that type of fight for sure. But in all honesty, bro, Navarrete's mileage is way higher than Nunez's mileage. Like, Navarrete has gone to war. A lot more times than Sugar Nunez has, and I just believe that is going to show in this fight. I think he's gonna catch Nunez early. I think Nunez is gonna catch him. We're gonna get that type of fight. They're gonna take a few rounds off to get the bearings back, and the smoke settles and the dust settles and everything. But I think Nunez is gonna catch him with something that Navarrete is not necessarily gonna see coming, because he's probably gonna overcommit or something, and which he does 9 times out of 10, right?
Yeah.
And
10 times out of 10.
And this is gonna be that fight that you just can't take him anymore. You can take him until you can't take him no more. And this is gonna be that type of fight for Navarrete. He is gonna have his moments early, because I give him that much of a respect. I do respect him as much as I critique his flaws and everything, which should be criticized, but that doesn't take away from the cojones that this guy has, and everything else. But that's how I see it, to be honest with you. Round 8, 9-ish, maybe a little bit earlier.
See, now you got me thinking, man, when you said the wear and tear, because I started thinking about Charlie Suarez. He got a raw deal, because that fight should have technically been a technical knockout, because that cut was caused by a punch and not like a headbutt like they originally perceived. So yeah, there's that. Then the fight with what's my man's name? He was getting hands put on him.
Robson Conceição, yeah.
Yeah. He was getting hands put him on in that fight. He was getting roughed up in that. He got roughed up in the fight with Dennis Baranchyk as well.
Liam Wilson too, bro. Like
Liam Wilson,
damn near every fight he's in, he's getting something happen where you're like, man, I don't know if you're gonna lose this,
Yeah, I thought.
But the guy's got balls of steel, man.
Bro,
yeah, he does.
I'm telling you. Cass, what do you think?
I hope it's the kind of fight you're talking about.
Yeah. I'll be back, gentlemen. I need like 5 minutes.
I gotta get ready to get off in a minute anyway, though. All right.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you, Cass. Yeah. And McQueen, God bless
you.
On
tonight, Arnie?
Yes, I'll be on tonight. Maybe right, a little.
Okay, what'd you say,
Arnie? I'll be on a little earlier than usual, probably. Probably. I wouldn't bet on it yet.
Okay, I'll look for you.
Appreciate you, sir. Yeah. I want to get your takes on a couple of things. In the meantime, God bless you and keep up. Appreciate you.
Okay, Aunt McQueen, Boxing Arnie. Great conversation. Everybody have a great afternoon. I will see y'all tomorrow. Dopo domani.